Good Monday, makers. We've got a great episode for you this week. This is a roundup of all the Build of the Month submissions. If you haven't heard, Build of the Month is our monthly contest where everyone submits their builds and tags them MakerPipe BOTM, and the community votes for their favorite one at the end of the month. At the end of the month, we'll be giving away a prize pack that'll have a t-shirt, hardware belt, gift certificate, and an all-important badge in the community with BOTM winners. So thanks to everybody for their submissions. Let's take a look at them. The first one we've got is by our friends Heavy Culture. They made this 3-tiered surfboard rack, which came out fantastic. And you can see it holds 2x4s, it holds towels, surfboards, all kinds of things. And it's on wheels so they can roll it around their garage. They used a few different things. They used 45-degree connectors for the poles that holds the boards, and then they did this bracing in the bottom with a bent 90-degree piece of conduit, which is really cool. And they added the caster kit. Now the caster kit down here is something we sell that adds 4 wheels, 2 locking and 2 non, with an adapter that you can put inside of conduit. And it's good for adding motion to your build. So there it is. We appreciate the submission, Heavy's Culture. We'd love to see what you build next. Next one we've got is by Max, who is a user experience designer, and his parents needed a freestanding whiskey shelf utilizing some reclaimed wood, and he decided to make it out of conduit and MakerPipe. Here's his rendering beforehand, 3 different shelves, and it came out great. And here's the final product. He's got all these shelves for the whiskey bottles, and then he used black wrap over the conduit to give it that look, and he's even got it space here for the dog bed. Well, it looks like a cat down there, but you know, it's got that space there. Really custom, really great. We appreciate you sharing it, Max. Next build is here from James. He submitted it to the Build of the Month contest. It is a duck blind for a pontoon boat. He's got his pontoon boat, needed the duck blind to be a certain size to fit his specific boat, and he did a great job where he created the frame out of MakerPipe and conduit, attached it to the boat, and he's got a tall side and a short side, and then covered it with local vegetation, gives it some great camouflage, and he says it's working great. So we really appreciate it. Thanks for submitting it, James. Next one we have here is from our friend Gary. Gary is a father of 2, a daughter and son, and they're in the marching band, and he helped create props, volunteered his time to the marching band to help them create props for their performance. And what they did was they made a series of tiki huts here with a MakerPipe frame, and then this thatch and some tiki wood, and it came out fantastic. You can see them doing their performance. They've got a few tiki huts around the field, and even made this volcano, which is just insane. Look at that thing, it's on fire. Awesome job, Gary. We really appreciate you submitting it for Build of the Month. Thanks. Next one is by Tony. They're out in Grass Valley, and he made a blueberry enclosure to protect his blueberries against birds. What he did was pretty cool. He took the traditional hoop house frame where you bend a piece of pipe or conduit, and this is usually used in greenhouses, and he took that method and then paired it with a MakerPipe frame and sidewalls. So it's kind of a hybrid approach, and it came out great. He's got 5 different hoops here at the top that he braced and ran pipe in between each one of them, and he's got the walls coming down to give it more height. It looked like he used 90 degrees on the corners and then 45s, and maybe the same here with 180s and 45s, and it came out great. We checked in with him, and it's been going for over a year and doing a great job. So we really appreciate you submitting it to the contest, Tony. Here is a build from Steven. He did this boat lift enclosure. Now he's got this boat lift on his dock, and you can see the top of it was what he already had. And it's a beautiful place, by the way. And he created the sides to add a little bit more weather protection for the boat. So he took a panel out of conduit, maker pipe connectors, and this shade cloth, and did that all the way around. He's even got a door here on the side. Here's some interior shots. He did a custom angle there to fit what he already had. And this is another builder that we checked in with, see how it was going, and he said it was fantastic. It was holding up, and he's had it out there for over a year. So we really appreciate you submitting it, Stephen. Great build. Next one is by Ryan. He made a whole studio setup out of conduit. He needed something to hold his lights, his cameras, monitors, different things for filming, and he did it all out of maker pipe. So you can see the structure comes up high, and then he's got this forward-facing camera here with lights, and here's some details. He zip-tied the wires to the conduit to keep them out of the way and kind of manage that. He's got his camera facing forward, a monitor to check out the output, and look here, he's got a overhead camera rig too for a top-down shot, along with 1, 2, 3 different monitors and lights. Really fantastic job, and it looks like it did the trick. Thanks so much for submitting it. Here, next one is by Jerry, and Jerry did a CNC machine out of conduit. Now he took the MP CNC project, which stands for Mostly Printed CNC Project, which I've got pulled up here, and this is their open source project. And what it is a number of 3D printed connectors that allows you to make an inexpensive CNC machine out of conduit and 3D printed parts, and you can use it for all kinds of things. And we've met these guys way back at a maker fair in New York City, and I've been following the project since then. And we've even made things with their parts. Back for the first Kickstarter, we made a camera slider using some of their parts, and it's a fantastic project. But what Jerry did was he took maker pipe parts and included them into that build. And you can see here he used it for the overall frame of the machine, to hold that together, and then he took conduit and maker pipe and did these cross braces to hold his work surface, and even went as far as to hold the different rails on the X and Y axes to the verticals, and make it a little bit sturdier than the 3D printed parts. So fantastic job. I love that project, and I love to see what you did, Jerry. Thanks so much for submitting it. Moving on to what Mike built a handrail for his solo skiff. And the solo skiff is this boat here, personal boat, where he's got a trolling motor, a swivel chair, and it looks like he uses it mostly for fishing. And you've got this front area, which I guess it looks like it'd be kind of precarious to stand up there if you're in rough waters, but he made this handrail on the front, which is incredibly simple and looks to be really effective, where he can hold on and kind of, get his footing while he's fishing. So really simple build, but super effective, and we love seeing it. Thanks so much for submitting it. We've got a build here by Christopher, and this is a fire pit surround to what looks like to be his backyard fire pit. And this is one heck of a backyard fire pit. What he did here was he took a maker pipe frame, and I'm going to fast forward to the frame part right here. He made a simple frame out of maker pipe as the surround. So he's got the verticals, and then attaching with T's, the horizontal pipes going all the way around. And I believe it looks like he drilled into the rocks to give it a strong base. I mean, it doesn't get much stronger than that, right? Those things look like they weigh a ton. But then he took some great panels that he made out of wood and attached them to the frame. He used one-hole straps here, painted black, and made this whole thing out of maker pipe and the wood panels, and it came out great. Looks like a great place to relax, and it's beautiful. So we really appreciate it, Christopher. Thanks so much for submitting it to the contest. And then last we have a build by Prodigalgreen. They made a huge greenhouse. It's 24 feet by 15 feet by 8 feet. And they did a combination of wood timber and then a maker pipe roof. Here's some photos where you can see the roof structure. They covered it in plastic, and what's in green is wood. So they did the walls, built those out of wood, and then the whole roof structure is made out of maker pipe. And it looks like they took a few different connectors to bring up the roof and then attached them with 90 degrees at the top here. And it looks to be longer than 10-foot lengths, so they had to use the 180 degree connector to join those lengths. And they did some cool stuff, like they ran these cross braces with the 45. They even incorporated a wire here, steel wire, to strengthen it, and pinned a couple of the conduit pieces into the connectors. But phenomenal build. Say it holds up to weather just fine, and it's really fantastic. Thanks so much for sharing it for the contest. And that's all we have for the entries this month. It's our first month doing this, and I want to thank everybody for submitting their builds and tagging them MakerPipe BOTM on the community. And this won't be the last time. If you missed your chance, don't worry, we're going to be doing this every month, and just tag it MakerPipe BOTM. And I look forward to seeing your builds, and I want to thank everybody for doing this. The community will vote on their favorite, and we'll have the results real soon. So we also have something really exciting. We've got a new series kicking off this week and some big news in MakerPipe world. So please stay tuned for that. If you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the bell notification for updates when we release the next video, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks so much.